All right, sick. And we are live. Jordan here from Online Fat Loss Coaching, live on a Google Hangout with Dane Stevenson, the Dane Stevenson who went through our personal program, went through his own transformation story. And we're just here finding out more about him, what he went through, and the things that made his story a success, and the stuff that he learned was really valuable to him that he can share. So welcome, Dane. How you doing, mate?
Very well, mate. Thank you very much for having me.
All good, all good. I really wanted to get you on because I loved your mindset shifts throughout the whole program. Your positivity was unreal and something that a lot of guys can learn from. So we'll go back right to the start. Before you met us, you said that you've said a number of times you've tried everything and it wasn't working. So where were you? What had happened?
Mate, probably not really, in terms of my mental health, probably not a really good health state. There, I tried many different types of exercising, different diets or nutritional plans, stuff like that. Obviously, being a health teacher and a physical ed teacher, I guess probably more of an insight into what it's about, I guess, than a lot of other blokes that maybe are on it. But,
yep.
You know, that basically obviously amounted to not a lot, because I struggled with my weight. I struggled with my commitment to exercising after periods of time of seeing no gains or losses or anything like that. My weight had, I guess, fluctuated out a lot, having moved from where I used to live on a nice, warm, sunny, beachy area down to a little bit colder area, and some bad food habits took over in the winter, and I just sort of lost track of myself.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So is that where you think you went wrong? Because obviously you're passionate about your sport, you love your footy, like you said, you're a health teacher. So was it just the small habits that started slipping? It was a gradual process?
Yeah, look, I guess it's the old adage where, you know, I'll just have this one day, I'll have it here then, and one time becomes twice a week, becomes 3 times a week, and then you try and substitute something else, and then you go, all right, I've done this, so now I've got to, you know, ban everything that's bad from my life and eat only good, and you just, it's not maintainable, it's not manageable.
Yeah. I'm glad you say that, and you know that cutting stuff out isn't the solution. I'm glad we've taught you that.
Yeah.
So, when did you first decide that you were going to go, right, I need to change, I really need to change now? How long was that?
It would have been approximately, well, it's been a year and a bit now, so I'm going to say 18 months, maybe 19 months. I was down with some mates down at Bateman's Bay on the water, having some fishing stuff.
Yeah.
And I just had a couple of good photos of myself in the boat, and I had a little pudge sticking out of my shirt, and I just went, this is enough. Like, enough's enough. It's time to make a change. It's time to find something that, you know, that means, I guess, something that's super important to me and something that I want to be able to do for the rest of my life, and just keep myself healthy. Yeah,
that's the right attitude from the start, something to make a lifestyle change rather than just a quick fix. How many months went by you trying stuff and not working?
Oh, before that, I'm going to say years. It could have been at least. You know, I mean, trying heaps of different stuff, and it just wasn't working.
Yeah, cool. And then you came to us. We had a lot of fun. You did our 12-week program, and got some good results. You were pretty stoked with everything, and you were really loving life, which was really cool. So talk us through that transformation. Just give us an overview of what happened to you and kind of what you went through.
Yeah, obviously I was a little bit, not skeptical, but I was a little bit nervous about the process. Obviously, you see a lot of stuff on social media and on the internet, and, you know, so we say to the kids at school, you click it and you just look at it and you think that's gospel, and I know that a lot of it isn't. So, basically, to start off with, if that's where you want me to go with it.
Yeah, for sure. Go for it.
Yeah, so to start off with, you know, I'd spoken to you guys, asked a lot of questions about what it was about, where you guys are heading with it, and what it means to you. And that's really, really important to me, what it actually means to you as a coach or as a trainer, and, you know, what are you hoping to gain out of it. And I guess the answers that I got from the phone interviews that I had with you guys is what I was looking for, and I was pretty confident that was, you know, what was needed in my life.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. And then you went through, and like most guys, you know, most guys are skeptical up until like the 4, 6, 8 week mark. I mean, what was the process like for you in terms of results, in terms of mindset changes? I mean, what did you feel you went through, and when did you feel like you were starting to see some success?
Look, I'm not sure what most of the other guys are like, but I lost, I think it was a 3.5, 4 kilos or something in the first week. I think it might have been.
Yeah, it usually happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it was massive, and I know it's a drama for a lot of people who don't see, I guess, losses or gains in whatever they're doing eventually, and it turns a lot of people off. But I honestly knew that it was going to be worth in the end. It was worth sticking it out and doing. After about 2 or 3 weeks, I think I just had this. I don't know how to put it. It was like just this sensation. It was honestly like a wave of energy and goodness and just brilliance. It was just amazing. Like I felt balanced. I felt energized. I felt excited. I felt focused. I felt switched on. And obviously I knew that, you know, I was well on the way to getting my lifestyle underway and, you know, doing something that's going to be beneficial for the long term.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. And that was the best part of coaching you through the process, was seeing you appreciate the non-physical results, what we call them, because a lot of guys get hung up on the numbers, hung up on the weight, and obviously you didn't have that much weight to lose, so you lost, you know, most of your kilos at the start in that first, I can't remember, 3 to 5 week period. I'm just going to generalize there, but after that, your numbers on the scale kind of stayed the same. And for a lot of people, that's really disengaging, I guess. Really, a lot of guys get down about that. But you managed to push through it. So what, I mean, was it all those non-physical factors that just made you go, I don't care about the results, or what was it for you that helped you push through that that other guys push through?
Yeah, that was part of it. But I also knew, like, when I spoke to you guys, you know, for me, it's not about the superficiality or the materialistic side of it. It's not getting ripped up, and it's not having the beach body. It's not, you know, going out and hunting down chicks because I've got an awesome body. It's actually something that, you know, it's vitally important. I guess in my family, you know, we have a history of heart disease. We have a history of obesity and stuff like that. And it was, I guess, that was part of my motivation as well, was finding something that was maintainable, finding something that's I could adapt into my lifestyle to just keep me, I guess, as healthy as possibly can, and honestly being responsible for my own behaviours and for my own health rather than blaming anyone else. Or blaming something here or blaming that or blaming this. You know, I ultimately was responsible for what I was doing, and for me that was motivation enough.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what do you reckon was the hardest part about getting started and starting?
Definitely the exercise wasn't. I really enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed everything that we did from start to finish. I added, you know, had some extra stuff on there myself as well. The hardest part I found was actually trying to just track my macros to begin with. I know I knew a little bit about what macros were and how you they play an essential part in your health, but actually understanding the ratios and how much you should eat, how much per day, how many meals, and all that kind of stuff. So it took me about, I think, a week and a half or 2 weeks to get that concept into my head and tracking it and making sure I'm hitting those goals. And then once we went from there, you know, everything was smooth, or as smooth sailing as I've probably had in forever. So
yeah, definitely. And I always ask guys, you know, what was the toughest part of the journey? You know, once you got to week 7, 8, 9, when the motivation starts to wane, what was the hard part for you? But you really didn't have many bad weeks. But I mean, in saying that, what was the hard parts for you, like throughout the whole process?
I guess just trying to not convince myself, but just to keep reinforcing, you know, that this is so good for you and it's so healthy for you and it's going to be beneficial for the rest of your life. And I got to, I think I didn't plateau a little bit, but I'd sort of stopped losing a little bit of weight, but I wasn't unhappy with that and I wasn't upset by that. I just knew that I found I guess a stage in my nutrition and my exercise that I could stay where I was and I can maintain, and I was happy with that, and I was quite content doing that.
Yeah, awesome. That's it. And I mean, on that note, when you're going through this process and you have to keep reinforcing yourself that, you know, you're doing the right thing, blah blah blah. What other mental barriers came up, and what did you personally find that you really had to push through in terms of mindset and mental change?
Yeah, look, there was a few issues with a little bit of self-belief, a little bit of self-doubt that, you know, you've worked this hard so far, you know, it's really up to you to make sure you don't slide back or you don't go back or you don't slip up. And that was for a couple of weeks, just, you know, trying to take something that was seemed a little bit negative, but actually turning it into a positive and just saying, well, this, this is all about you. It's about yourself, and, switch your bloody head back on and go for broke. I do remember, I think I posted a video, it might have been around week 6, week 7, and it was about just what my thought process was about how it's coming along. And I think vaguely it was something about, this is a lifelong journey. It's the beginning. It doesn't have an end, and it's just a lifelong process of taking care of yourself. Yeah,
that's awesome. And that just completely sums it up. That's the exact message we want everyone to understand, is that although we did a 12-week structure and a lot of people do different time lengths in their structure, so many people set unrealistic expectations of a time frame when you shouldn't be thinking of it as, you're doing a program now, but you're not going to do it once you've stopped the program. You're just changing your lifestyle, and then that's your lifestyle. I mean, you're going to eat and you're going to exercise for the rest of your life. You might as well make it as effective as possible. Yeah.
I mean, also, I guess the hardest thing was to try not to look at the numbers on the scale, try not to weigh yourself as often, trying to take focus away from body mass as such, but just looking at, like, even things such as clothes size, just looking at how much easier it was to fit into some of my clothes, and just in general, just my general mental well-being. It was honestly, like I said, it was just this wave of awesomeness. It was just amazing. And I mean, it's hard to do that because we've just been drilled into us that weight is the thing that matters, and weight is the number we need to watch. And so from so many years of that social dogma that weight matters, to try and change that is pretty hard. But like you're saying, when you get those benefits from everything from the clothes fitting better to you just feeling fitter and having more energy throughout the day, it just makes it so worth it. So I mean, on that note, what were the easiest parts? What parts did you love the most? I actually found the exercise most enjoyable part of it. It, I guess, enabled me to think more about what I'd been doing in the past and how I could relay that on to, obviously, the kids that I teach and stuff like that. But yeah, look, I found the easiest part was doing the exercise and actually getting in and working up a sweat and being short of breath sometimes when you're busting your backside. just to know that it's just, it's just so good for you and it's just worth it. And that, it'll happen, it'll come. And that for me was the easiest part, was just following the guidelines for the exercise in particular. Yeah, awesome. So where are you at now? I mean, what's happened over the last kind of almost year, or not quite a year, maybe 9 months since you finished? What's been happening sport-wise, fitness-wise? Fitness and sport-wise, I've increased a little bit more of my cardio. I'm doing a lot more body weight stuff. I'm doing a lot more, can't even think of the bloody word for it now. I'm doing less isolation exercise and more whole body exercise. I've put about 2 kilos on since I finished, which I think is quite fascinating. I've found, I guess, the nutrition and the exercise, I've found that balance where I'm not losing weight, but I'm not stacking weight on. I'm comfortable where I am with the weight I am at the moment. Yeah, awesome. That's so perfect. It's so good to hear. So many guys struggle. And obviously you went through the program with a group of guys, and you can see yourself, the variation in results is crazy. You're all doing the similar programs, similar principles, but everyone gets different results. And that's because some guys just mentally can't stick to it. Some guys struggle. Some guys need more help than others, blah, blah, blah. I mean, what do you think the difference is as to why you were able to get results from it compared to guys that don't? Probably the reason why I was doing it, to be honest. I find that, if you're doing it, like I said before, the superficial materialistic viewers, I want to get a six-pack, I want to get ripped up, I want to take 58 selfies and post them on Instagram. I don't personally feel that, for me, that's a healthy way of looking at it. You know what I mean? Like I said to you before, it's just about a healthy lifestyle. It's about balance. It's about your lifestyle, but it's also just about taking care of yourself, not just physically, but I guess emotionally and mentally as well. Yeah, that's huge. That big why, if you've got the right reason why you want to do it, even on the bad days, you'll still do it because it's just part of your lifestyle. Whereas if it's, like you're saying, a superficial reason that's not that powerful to you, like seeing abs or something, sometimes that is powerful to guys. But
yeah, you're not going to do it on the bad days.
No.
Yeah, cool. So, I mean, other big lessons learned throughout the whole process, from lessons learned from when you got to your heaviest right through to now. I mean, what's the stuff that you think other guys need to hear, knowledge wise or about yourself, mental wise?
Yeah. It's not that difficult. Once you get the right advice and once you get the right guidelines, it's really not. And like I said, it's about doing something for yourself, and that's what it should be about. It shouldn't be doing it about, for someone else, to impress anyone else, but it should be just about loving yourself and doing it to keep yourself healthy, I would think. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is such a perfect summary. And if every guy got that, if every person got that, everyone would be living a lot healthier lifestyles. So that's the message we're trying to spread, is that balance. And do it for yourself, and do it because you want to be healthy, not because you feel like you need to be healthy because that's what everyone else says. Yeah, cool. So if someone came to you and asked you, Dane, how did you do it, or how do I lose weight? I mean, what answer would you give them?
Well, I would obviously, I mentioned that I went through a program with you guys, absolutely, and I couldn't do anything but highly recommend what you guys have done for me. Absolutely. But the message I guess I would have, how I would do is it's hard work. You got to put the effort in. It's not just going to happen for you. You've got to make a sacrifice. You've got to make a decision for yourself, and you've got to stick by it.
Simple words, but wise words. That's awesome. That's really profound. So same thing. I mean, if you were to give yourself some advice when you were starting out, or give anyone advice that's halfway through and just starting to wane a little bit in motivation, maybe the weight is starting to plateau, what advice would you give them?
Just back yourself. Get in, get stuck in. Don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about what you're looking like. Just get in, and just remember, it's just about yourself. It's about keeping yourself healthy.
Yeah, sick. All right, last couple of questions. So, I mean, what is the favorite thing to come out of this whole process for you? Biggest lesson learned, or the biggest tip you can give, or even as simple as your favorite exercise. I mean, what's your favorite thing to come out of it?
There's not one favorite thing, to be honest. The whole lot of it is just, look, it was an eye-opener. It's, for me, I guess it's the understanding about the role that nutrition actually plays in conjunction with, I guess, exercise, or just healthy living, and not clean living, but just healthy living. Just how important nutrition is, not only for your physical health, but for, like I said, your mental health as well. Yep,
spot on. That's awesome. All right, well, last question. If you could, write yourself a letter 3 years ago or 5 years ago, or even at the point where you saw yourself on that fishing trip when you were a bit heavier, what would you write to yourself? What would you want to say to yourself?
Wake up to yourself. Have a look at what you're doing to yourself. Sort yourself out.
That's awesome.
Not to get down on yourself as much, I know. Look, just have faith in yourself, and have faith in your ability and what you can actually achieve as a person and as an individual, and don't get so hard on yourself. It's a lifelong journey, and you learn many lessons along the way, and you'll stumble many times, and if you let those stumbles get in your way, it's an uphill battle, but you just got to take all the stumbles in stride. You got to learn from them, and you got to get better from them.
Yeah, that is so good. That is so spot on. So for anyone listening, I mean, I reckon, in terms of advice you could give, that just completely sums it up. You're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have bad points. One, don't be so hard on yourself. Enjoy the process. Find the balance, and do it because you really want to do it, and you want to take care of yourself. And it's funny that you say wake up to yourself, because so many guys I've spoken to and I've asked the same sort of question, they all say the same thing. You know that you're getting bigger, but you don't realize how bad it is until you hit a peak and then go back down. So it's hard to wake up to yourself. It's hard to kind of look at yourself and go, oh shit, I'm actually at this point. But maybe it's time to be real with yourself and assess yourself.
Yeah, just taking ownership for it, mate. That's what it's about.
Yeah, definitely. Reasons versus results. You can either have reasons why you don't have results, or just take responsibility and get the results.
Yeah,
awesome. Well, very insightful, Dane. Love your answers. As always, love your mindset. It's been unreal, and it's a testament to your character, as always. I say this to every guy that you've gotten where you are because you took responsibility. So you should be super proud of yourself, and you absolutely smashed the program, which was awesome. Thanks for coming on, mate.
No dramas.
Anything else you want to say to anyone listening or anyone going through a similar journey?
Get involved.
You covered it all, but
get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just love it.
Too
That's
easy.
what it's about. Just love doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Have some fun.
That's
take it too seriously. Yeah. Awesome, mate. Awesome. Thanks very much for your time. Good to talk to you again. We'll talk to you real soon.
All right, mate. No dramas.